Happy Wellness Wednesday, people. Can you hear me? I'm excited for today. Today we're going to be talking about full circle moments. And here you go. Hello, welcome in. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I'm excited for the conversation today. How am I doing? I'm doing wonderful. I hope that you are as well. Did it let you in? There we go.
Hi, my love.
Hello, beautiful.
How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm amazing. Thank you. Everything is brighter. Life is amazing. Everything is coming full circle. That's all I can say.
I'm telling you, that's today.
I love that hair on you.
Thank you.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm amazing. Like, beyond amazing, but amazing will suffice.
Happy February 1st, everyone.
Absolutely.
It's a new month. I feel like now February is over because, it'd be like, oh, snap. January flew by.
Basically, as usual. And happy Melanated Month.
Yes. Happy Melanated Month. Or Black History Month, for those who call it that. Time to shine and thrive. We're going to be talking about things coming full circle within our lives. Alignment, my favorite thing.
Absolutely. So, as we can just get started. You want to go first?
You want me to go first?
Either one doesn't matter.
Hi, everyone. My name is A. And I am a meditation facilitator. And I do holistic wellness. I'm a creative artist. So I make chakra art. So the healing art for meditations and yoga. And I'm just so honored and happy to be here today again. Things are coming full circle for me. And I know a lot of other people that I am connected to and aligned with. I don't even know where to start, but it's a lot. Like the energy, we're in a new season, we're in Aquarius season, very social, very collective, like just connecting with everyone and really going to the next level within our lives. For me, I do youth meditations, and that's something that if you would have told me 6 months ago, I'd have been like, what? Like, I wasn't even hosting meditations 6 months ago. I actually just started in November, but I have been practicing meditation for almost 3 years now. And so it's like, why have a gift and not share it with the world? And since I took that leap out on faith, literally things have been coming full circle. Like, even my meditation class went a bit longer yesterday. Yes, youth meditation. So I teach meditation to kindergarteners and second and third graders. So it is an amazing experience. These children and this generation coming up, they are like, I feel like they've been here before. Like the stuff that they say to me, like the things that they're grateful for and the vocabulary that they use to be at such a young age is like high level, and I love to see it. They catch on now. I've been doing it for like a month now, and they know each other's chakras, they know the colors, like everything, and it's just building onto it. So it's just amazing, like how things just connect and just align so effortlessly. And I'm building more. I've broken past that barrier of imposter syndrome, the self-doubt, the procrastination, because I'm like, okay, I'll do it. And then I wasn't doing it. And so it's one day I just did it. And since I did it, I just have no choice but to keep going. Also at a good pace too, because we don't want burnout over here, but would you consider holding space for our teenagers? Definitely. Where are you located? That's important because I'm in Miami. So
Yeah, Florida, good. I mean, but you can always do it online. And
yeah,
I want
online.
to skip past this because I just want to let you know like how huge that is because it starts when we are younger, right? And I always talk about the energy transference and why there's so much discourse within school, like coming up in school because we're transferring energy. Things start happening to kids at a young age, and they come into school with that on them, and all these other things. And being able to have those type of tools and tap into themselves is such a major thing for our youth. Like that is a major key thing that they can keep with them as they continue to grow and understand and know, like, you know, I can get through these emotions. I have something, even if you stray away, you have something in your back pocket that you could pull out to help you get back on track. And that's huge. And I commend you for that.
Thank you so much. Yes. You live in the same city? Oh, okay. Well, we don't live in the same city, but definitely you can always DM me or you can email me and we can set something up if you want to do it virtual. I do virtual meditations. I can do a pre-record and live as well. I don't promote it too much, I guess, as I should, because I mean you can feel the energy through the phone, but in person it's just like, and I plan, like, as I expand and do more, of course, travel and like, hold bigger sessions, but the experience in person, like people, how they respond to it. And a lot of times I used to doubt myself. I'm like, do you feel something? But like, no, like even the little children, like the last meditation circle I did outside of the youth, I had younger children and they were just saying, it was like, oh yeah, I feel all of my chakras just like open. And I'm like, oh, okay, like
Yeah.
get them chakras aligned.
Right.
But it's a very powerful thing. And I'm just happy that something that I do naturally, that I live by day, like I could just share with others, help them heal, and just expand. I love to hear the growth and everything. So
I love it.
I'm ready to hear about you and with everything coming full circle for you.
I mean, life is truly so. I had a different experience this past year coming into my freedom. It was like I kept saying it felt like I was redoing my life, like I got a do over, but I was looking at it at a 180 angle. So I'm not doing a 360. It's like a 180, and I'm able to like change things. It was crazy, but like this full circle moment is beyond me. So I performed last month. I mean, not last month, last week. Yes.
Mommy, can you print me out the clothes and download?
I don't. I cannot right now because I'm on here. But when I'm done, I will. Thank you. Go play. Yes. So, I performed this weekend. It was crazy amazing. So coming up into performing, I was extremely like anxious about it because I went through a period of doubt of whether or not like I wanted to tell this story, and then like trauma started coming up for me. So I'm like, and then so guys may have noticed or may not, but we were not here last week.
Yeah.
And the part of the reason for me was I started having like flashbacks. And then I had a therapy session, and I didn't like that the woman was like pushing me to like bring up traumatic events. And I'm like, no, like I don't really want to do that. So it ended up with me like I'm feeling raw. I'm like super anxious about if this is gonna affect me like telling his story, all of those things. So Saturday, I do the show. I opened, and so it was three people. Two of us went, then it was intermission, then another person went. So during intermission, I'm talking to people, and I see this woman standing off to the side, like she want to talk to me. So I was like, okay, I'll talk to her after I'm talking to this person. So I talk to her, and she like, hey, it's so and so, and I'm like, hi, and I'm looking at her face, and I'm like, I know her, and then I know her name, but why do I know her? Like, I don't. It's not registering to me. Why do I know her? And she's like, yeah, I was your parole officer. Now, if y'all don't know, the story that I told this weekend was my story into incarceration. So, I was in an abusive relationship, and in order to get out, it just landed me into incarceration. And I go deeper in my story. If you guys want to catch it at the end of this month, it's February. At the end of this month, I'll be telling it again, and this will be my last time telling it. Not like that, but like in this form, because I'm going to do a different story next. But it was basically me having a full circle moment in my story of like now, and me telling myself affirmations in the mirror. And then I go backwards and I tell about like my youth and some things that happened to me with my mom. And I go into the relationship, and I go into prison, and then I get back to now. And at the end of it, I like get back into the mirror. So I get back to telling myself the affirmations. And so in that, me seeing her was like a full circle moment, because of course she's a part of this, but not only is she a part of it, like she helped me so much through the process. If anybody has ever had anybody experience incarceration, it's not a pretty sight, and most people, lawyers, don't care. So to have someone that truly cared, and she made sure my daughter was good, and she made sure like I got to see her before I left, and all of these things, it was like emotional for me, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't expect to see her. So she had told me that one of the Marks invited her, and Marks, there's two of them, are each a director in the play. So I go and I talk to him, and I'm like, hey, you know, da-da-da. He like, yeah, I invited her. I knew she was coming, but I just didn't tell you. So I guess he sent out the invite, and she was like, yeah, I was her lawyer. And then he goes, yeah, and I was her boss at the time. I was like, what? Like, this is so
wow, the alignment,
how life really happens. And like all the way down to I wasn't even going to do this project. Like I wanted to, it was like a whole bunch of wellness events at that time that I'm like, you know, this is what I do. Like I need to be up there on them stages. And something was like, no, you said you were going to do this. You wanted to do storytelling. I didn't even know what it was, but you wanted to do storytelling. You're going here. And it ended up in this full circle moment. And I felt like after I finished writing it, I felt complete. But after I had that moment in there, I was like, wow, like this is the end of this chapter. Like this chapter for me, of holding on to these feelings of what happened. And now I can move forward. Like it was like the biggest weight off of my shoulders that I ever experienced. And I've experienced some like real deep major healing moments, but this one was good. And so many opportunities have been coming since then too. So I just say, like, I don't know, like creating a process and holding space for yourself to actually feel that healing and get through it is worth it. It's worth it. I didn't used to think that it was worth feeling the emotions of it. Like I've done healing in other ways, and it was always like, I guess now that I fully experienced it, like half-assed, because I never got to the root of the emotions. Like I can intellectualize the healing process very easily. Like, oh yeah, this happened, and da 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 da. I could talk about it full detail, but being able to get the emotional part of it out was hard. It was a lot of work, and I understand, especially people who've been through severe trauma like me, not wanting to go through that part because it hurts. And
Yeah.
healing can be traumatizing as well if you don't have tools, which was what I told that lady. Like, girl, you got my body physically hurts. I do not want to talk about this. And I'm in a good place. And
Yeah.
she have not one tool to help me decompress. I was like, you shouldn't do this with people if you don't know how to help them do it, because I don't want to feel that pain, but I do know it is worth it to get yourself in a better space to be able to go through it.
That is amazing. I'm so happy and proud of you for even having that courage to go out in front of people on camera to like tell your story, to heal, to really face yourself in the mirror, and like that's your testimony, you know, in life and moving forward. And I believe, like, us as a society, we're in this awakening, healing, I would say, era, because I mean, people, they've been healing for decades or whatever, but not at a grand scale like how we are now, like how it's being publicized and like recorded real time, and people really telling their stories. And you honestly just inspired me to like kind of touch on mine. I was not incarcerated, but I was, what is it called, Baker Act or something like that, when you get placed into a psych ward. Yeah, so it was 2017, Hurricane Irma, if anybody know about Hurricane Irma. And it was Labor Day weekend. And I was like one person, like growing up, I never really expressed my feelings like that. Like, I was a therapist for everybody, but I didn't have a therapist for myself. But I was just so used to like bottling things up, and I would write here and there, but I just keep stuff to myself. And just really, I had a very high emotional tolerance for, like, I guess, hurt and like abuse and trauma, because it was just like I coped other ways, through daydreaming, through like not thinking about people. Like, I talked to God a lot, and there was times like I wanted to die, but as far as like really telling people my business and like how I'm feeling, I just never did. Like, I just kind of swept it under the rug, like, okay, and just kept it going, and just found other ways to just like cope. Eating was, I just realized like eating was a toxic coping mechanism. Like, I would just eat. Like, the stuff that I would eat, a lot of people, they used to be like, how do you eat so much but you so skinny? But I don't know, like, it was just, that's just how I cope with things. Like, that's what made me happy. Shopping made me happy. Just like those type of things really distracted me from like my own pains. But when I got into college, your 20s, oh my goodness, I don't know what I was thinking, like in high school, like, oh yeah, by 25, I'm going to be this, I'm going to have this, like this whole perfect life. Hell no, that shit was like the biggest tower moments of my life thus far. I'm still in my 20s, but I'm like in my older 20s. And I'm like, goodness, like everything like from my childhood crept back up when I got like 20, what was that, 21? Yeah, 21. 2013, 21. So I couldn't take it no more. I had the pressure of school. I was taking 5 classes back to back. My mom was pressuring me, like, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, make sure you do that. And like just the baggage of her. And then I was in a relationship that was kind of, I guess in the way I can describe it, kind of like mainstream, but not like really mainstream like everybody on social media, but more so like in the school. Because if you know anything about sororities and fraternities, like especially Black sororities, like people are known type of thing. And so it's like me being associated and affiliated with like certain Greeks and stuff, and like dating someone who's kind of like up there, it was just kind of like that attention, and then the breakup, and then like all of that energy, and it was just like so much like I was like had on me. And the only thing that I knew at that time, I was like, I'm gonna just drink. So I took a whole thing. I had alcohol poisoning. I told my roommates, I don't want to be here. And I went in my room, locked the door. All I know is I was just dizzy. It was like 9 something. And then when I woke up, it was like 5 a.m. I was hooked on a monitor in a hospital. And it was just like so surreal. Like I was like, what the fuck happened to me? Mm-hmm. And then the people there, they were trying to make me seem like I was crazy and all this stuff. But it was just like, I know myself. I just had a very low moment, and I didn't know how to cope at that time.
Right.
And so then they ended up putting me in the psych ward, and it was the most oddest thing of my life. And I'm like, I have the most sense in this place, but the people, they made it seem like I was. And the people that I met in there, like those people really had issues. Like this lady, she gave me cookies out of her pants and told me to eat it. I was kind of scared because she was really aggressive, and she was like the loudest one out of everybody, going into people's faces, like just like I was just like in this. I'm the only person, like I don't know anybody, and it's just like you got really really old people in there, and then these people, and this one guy, he could not be unsupervised. Like anywhere he walked in his room, somebody had to be with him. And somebody walked in on my room, and he was just staring at me, and I'm just staring at him. And it was just like, I felt like the most, I gained power, but I felt like I had lost power in there. Because, you know, the pill thing, like, I think it's like the red pill. They make you take these pills, and that was making me, like, I noticed, like, I was there the whole week because of the hurricane. So it's like, I couldn't, if I wanted to leave, I still couldn't leave. Like, I just had to stay there. So 7 days in that psych ward. And oh, it's so crazy. This is the full circle moment because it was on a Wednesday. It was on a Wednesday. And we talked about this on a Wednesday. I got closer to God. I was reading. I was really meditating. And I was just like, damn, I would never do this again. Like, I would never allow myself to try to, like, harm myself over external things and not being, you know, open. That taught me how to be more vocal. Hi, Jay. How are you? That's my friend. But it really taught me, like, about myself more. Like, I know who I am. You're not going to tell me who I am. Like, you're not going to keep me here longer. As soon as the hurricane, the thing got lifted, I left. Like, that 7th day, like, I got out. And I was so grateful just to be able to just walk outside. Because it felt like prison. Like, there was little tiny windows. And you in this one floor with these complete strangers. And the pills, every time I took them, I noticed like an hour later I would go to sleep, and it made me like think like I wanted to kill myself. But I didn't tell them people that, because then that would give them more reason to keep me in there. But I knew it was those pills, because it's like, why every time I'm taking these for 7 days, I'm watching a pattern, I'm seeing what I'm observing, but I'm telling these people a whole nother thing, because it's just like, you're not gonna keep me, like,
right.
And they let me out. But it was like very eye-opening. And then in 2018, that's when I really, really started my awakening journey to really hear myself, find myself, and like to where I am right now. Just like with energy, I wanted to know more. Like, what is this life that we live really in this matrix? Like, and the whole programming, like, I wasn't thinking for myself. I was just going along with, okay, they said to do this, so, you know, you must do that. And it was just like, wow, like when you finally find that courage to like think for yourself and to look at yourself and those issues, I feel like that's when like real life starts for a person. Because when you sleep, you just same old, same old, same old, same old. You know this stuff, but you ain't really breaking out of those barriers. And from from then, like, I just regained my sovereignty, my power, like really showing the world who I am, not being afraid, using my throat chakra, because my throat chakra was very much blocked. Like, I didn't feel like I could articulate things properly, or anyone would understand me. And I used to just feel so beaten up, but that was just my childhood, past relationships, and not knowing who I was, and how things come full circle is just amazing. And to just share that light with other beings is beyond anything. Like, I don't regret anything from my past. I don't hate anybody from my past. If you hurt me, if you cursed me, any of that stuff, I don't care, because at the end of the day, I'm still here. Nobody can. I say this: if I can't take myself out, you can't take me out. Like, I really have a purpose. Like, I have passion. I have authenticity. Like, I'm really here doing God's work. And I knew this, but I didn't know it until those moments. Like, what I wanted, who I was, and I'm still developing into that person that I see myself and know myself to be. So I'm just grateful and honored how everything really does come full circle. And my story is my power. And for a long time, I never wanted to tell nobody, because I didn't want people to think I was crazy. But then again, it's like everybody has their own shadows and those dark moments within them. And we're all human at the end of the day. Like, nobody's perfect, and your story is helping somebody else have the courage to tell theirs, to live in their truth, to see themselves, to seek help, to find better ways to heal, and not to feel alone. And I'm just looking forward to, like, the change in our culture, to, like, more natural ways of being, and to heal, and to know, and to build community. Because it's like, it's bad enough to live in America and to be melanated and Black and to be segregated those times of years. And we still have those, not as to the extreme as how it, in the 50s and 60s that it was, but to some degree, like, that separation and stuff. Like, we just really have to come together and build ourselves and heal ourselves, because the powers that be, or are whatever, like, we are the real powers that be, and we have to wake up to that and, like, be real in that. So, full circle energy.
Yes, and I definitely want to touch on. First of all, thank you for sharing that. I definitely want to say that. And speaking of full circle, I feel like I can relate to many things that she said, but also, like, that happened to my grandma, but she didn't make it out of the psych ward. This is back when they were, like, really drugging people and not allowing them to leave. So they killed her. But what I want to say with that was being intentional, because it's crazy. I keep hearing people talk about, like, their awakening, but I don't think I ever had one of those. Like, I was never asleep. If that makes sense. Like, I was woke children. I was never asleep. But what happened to me was I was talked out of my gifts. So, like, I'll know something, or I'd say things, and people would act like I wasn't right, or not listen to me. So I definitely understand that throat chakra, even though I still say, you can't get me to not say nothing. So I still say this, my throat chakra was never blocked. But as far as, like, really owning who I was, I didn't. And so it allowed me, and plus, like, the things that happened to me as a child allowed me to, like, self-sabotage. So I would know, and then I would do the opposite. Or I've been so in touch with the world, I always want to see the brighter side of things. So I want to be wrong. So I'm going to still go against my discernment, because I want to be wrong about this. Right? I don't want to be right about what I'm thinking. And through that, I learned the power of being intentional because, like I said, although I didn't have an awakening, I did have moments where I leveled up. So even like as a woke person, you still have to continue to evolve. Like we all want to get to the highest version of ourselves. Hopefully, everybody doesn't want that, but hopefully. And so with that, I would get to these points of healing. I'm like, okay, cool. Like I'm doing this healing thing, and then here comes an opportunity to self-sabotage. And because I wasn't intentional with the healing stuff, God was setting me up in different ways to like learn different things, and I'm leveling up, but I'm not intentional with it. I'm just going with the flow. Like I'm going with the flow of life taking me wherever it gotta go. I don't have any say so in this, so let me just go with the flow. And because I wasn't intentional, my mind was also able to be shifted. So, oh, let me go over here. And I know I might not need to be over here, but it looks shiny. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, real ADHD, even in the 3D.
Right, I feel you.
Over there.
You be like, ooh, squirrel.
So I'm like, I'm not being intentional about this journey, which allowed me to be able to be susceptible to the things that trigger me and the things that are no good for me. But I also didn't understand what healing was like. Like I didn't understand how I was supposed to operate as a healer or how I was supposed to operate in life. I'm just doing the things that I think in my head that, you know, not I think in my head, but like higher source is giving me. And I think this is what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm not putting any intention into it. And once I got into this new journey of intentionality where I was like, I'm never going back. I'm never going back to a place where someone can take who I am away from me, or someone can, you know, and I have to talk to my younger self about that too, because that's how she feels. I love you, D-Lam. But I have to talk to my younger self all the time about, like, you know, like, girl, we safe. And that's where I started off in my speech in the story that I was telling. I'm safe. Like, I always have to ground myself in that. And then from there, figure out where else are we going in this healing. Because if you don't have any intention and you're not focused on what does this mean for me, it's easy for you to be swayed to another side because you don't have no destination. You just going with the flow. Now, if higher self said go left, but you see the sign that said go right, you're going to go right because it's people going right. Higher side, like, I hear you, but people going right because I have no intention of where my destination is. There is nowhere that I think that I'm going. I'm just going with life. And so once we stop limousine living, which is my favorite, we not riding in the back seat no more. We taking the driver's seat. Once we take the driver's seat of our life and being able to be like, yeah, I got the roadmap. Not even Siri can tell me where I'm going because she
right, because Siri be wrong too. We take you down a whole dead end. You be like, how I got here? Like,
right. I'm going the way that my higher self told me to go, and this is it. Then you're able to really understand these full circle moments that we are always in, because we're always in an opportunity to reflect. We're always in an opportunity to understand how to continue to move forward. Girl, this month has been it for me. Like, it's been, if I needed any other type of confirmation, this month has gave me full confirmation about continuing on in the direction, even when you can't see where you're going. Even when you can't see where you're going, continuing on the direction that your heart guides you. Your heart and your soul is guiding you into that direction. Because if you would have told me last year, like, this would have been it, I would have believed you, but I wouldn't have felt it. Because I was in was too much going on last year. You know what I'm saying? It was too much.
Yeah.
I'm coming out of healing. I got a lot going on, and I wouldn't have thought that like this moment would be complete. Like, how do you move past something? How do you move past something that's an obstacle? How do you move past something that you can't see, though? And that is the question of getting to a full circle moment. Like, how do you move past something you can't see to get to the other side? It's those full circle moments. Like, looking back and being able to be like, this shit just came around. You know, the conveyor belt? Like, this shit just came right back around. Let me see how I feel in this moment. Let me see, what does this do for me? And because I know that, like, this moment has been, I'm able to move on to the next conveyor belt. Hi, Shay.
Hey, Shay. You know, it's so funny. I told someone this year. Well, not this year. Today, I was like, you know, how people usually say when the new year begins, "Oh, this is my year. This is my year." I don't know if I really ever said that, but for some reason this year, not for some reason, because I've said this since I was a child. Because 23 is my favorite number. Year 2023 is my year. Like, that is going to be the most fulfilling year that I ever experienced. I just kept saying, like, from a child, I can't tell you why 23 is my favorite number. I just like how the 2 and the 3 look together. But a few years ago, I dissected it. 2 plus 3 is 5. I was born March 5th, 5th day. Like, I'm 5. I'm big on the number 5. So I was like, oh, wow, that just, like, correlates. And when I turned 23, my whole life changed. I had a baby. Like, everything in my life really just changed at 23. I was like, wow, this is, like, it was just a ripple effect. And so from July, and this ties into what you were saying with the intentions. In July of last year, everything in my life started to just tower. But like the phoenix rising, that's the best thing I can say. Like the phoenix rising. That's how I felt like what happened. And my spirit naturally pushed me into a more lively way of being. I started fasting unintentionally, but intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
You remember the 36-hour fast I was telling you about? I don't know how I did that for 4 months straight, like just those 36 hours. Because I tried, you remember I told you I tried to do it at the beginning of this month and I only made it to 16 hours and I felt defeated because I was just like, dang, like the other times it didn't feel like a challenge. It just really felt natural. Like my energy was like so focused. I genuinely didn't know what I was doing per se, but I knew I was doing something to better and level up myself. And I started taking leap out on faith. I did my first business trip. I wanted so much stuff, like the connections was launched the meditation. I built a community, like literally, and I met so many people. You were one of the people I met in that time frame. Lighter eating, like I had at one point I just really stayed away from animal products, cleansed my body, detox. My menstrual cycle got lighter and shorter, something I never experienced in probably like the last 15 years of me actually having one. It was just like so transformative, and that's the most. And then I started letting people go because I was holding on to all this dead energy, and I let go of those emotional attachments, and I saw how like better I felt, and I started speaking up more. I started doing my videos. I did over 60 plus videos from May to December.
Mm-hmm.
consistency. I wasn't looking at trying to get paid, nothing. Like, I just needed to, my spirit was just like, you need to speak, you need to say something. You got all this energy you've been harboring. Do it. Like, just really do it. And to see the transformation, just us being here on live and just the connection from all of that, I say that to say, when you really take the time to like look at yourself, to meditate, to learn how to fast, to read, and to be intentional and know what that means, you will be in places that you probably would have never imagined or thought like you would be. And I just feel like all of that really brought me to 2023. Like, everything is just different in the best ways possible. The best ways possible. Like, I live life getting up. Like, I love to get up and go in my garden. Like, that's like I fix tea every morning. I pray, my altar, go outside, go to the garden. The life that has transformed, a sunflower grew in my garden, never planted a sunflower seed, don't know where it came from. It just, everything just, I got these little, you know what a hummingbird is?
Mm-hmm.
But there's like a moth hummingbird. I thought it was a hummingbird because it looked tiny, and I saw but then I had to learn. I was recording it. I was like, okay, it's a little too small to be a hummingbird. But just the life that I started to attract in my garden, like the plants that are still growing in my garden that I never planted a seed for. I'm like, where did you come from? But I tend to it. I really,
For you.
a whole flower thing. I forgot what it's called. As soon as I started my garden, that was like a whole vine thing on the gate. Beautiful. Every day I name it Graceland because I'm like, God gave me grace to this land. Like, I was just like, whoa, like, what is life? Like, who, like, how did, but I just moved with my spirit. Like, I let go of that ego and everybody else talking to me, and I learned to hear myself, talk to myself, connect. Meditation saved me. Like, it saved me from those self-sabotaging ways. It taught me to look at myself at those self-sabotaging ways. Like how you saying, like the obstacles that you can't see, I was able to dissect to see them. Maybe not physically see, but that third eye see. And to hear how people like respond to my energy, and I'm like, wow, like, thank you. I did my job. Like, I don't know what else to say. Sometimes I feel like, I don't know, I'm just being natural, like myself. Like, I don't get big headed about it. I just move the way that I move intentionally, and I see how it helps others. I see some people comment that Shay said that part, just do it. When I tell you that part is still something in itself. Yes, Michelle. Hey, Michelle. Thank you. Michelle has definitely been a help on my journey. You really doing a damn thing. Yes. Rock E24 says, thank y'all. I needed to hear this show. And yeah, I'm just grateful that we're all in alignment. Anything amazing, always ascending and aligning. That's what A stands for. That's what A-List is about. Like, A-List, it's our community. It's to empower ourselves to get our sovereignty back in our way that we know, not what they said and he said, she said, like, not what no family, friends, all of that title stuff. You have to learn how to detach from it to become the best version of yourself. Not to be too big headed and, forget people, but sometimes we have to leave people to be with ourselves and not people please so much. Like, I used to people please so much because I wanted people to just like me. Now I don't give a damn. I love me. You are just extra to it, and you can't like gaslight me into thinking anything otherwise. Like, a lot of people, they don't believe that I'm this peaceful, that I live zen and all this stuff. It's like, yeah, I do get mad, but I don't get enraged and mad like I used to, and nor do I plan to, because that's just taking unnecessary energy away from me, and I know better. I know what that is. I can see. I don't attract the same energies that I used to, but when I do see those energies, I know how to move to like yeah, you're not gonna penetrate this. You can try, but I mean,
And that's it is. A lot of people get so caught up in the title of it, like my last post that I posted about the title of it or what it's supposed to look like, but you are your purpose. Like you and your most natural element of yourself is your purpose, and life will take you out of that because people put their own purpose on you, or um, you know, you just some people don't get the opportunity to know themselves, or life just be life. But at the end of the day, it's your most vulnerable moments that is your purpose, to just wake up and be you. And then they put bills on us, which I wish they wouldn't because I don't want them. But I'm thankful. But you know what I'm saying? Like we have all these extra things on us that take us outside of who we are. And in order to get back into alignment, we have to find ourselves outside of these things in order to fully fulfill who we supposed to be, which again is our purpose. And just like Dila said, life is a cycle, and we all must understand our own cycles. Like you ended a cycle, and that's why your garden grew, because you were growing. And I always talk about evolution because evolution is definitely different than growing, evolving as a person and within yourself, and being able to go to that next level, breaking through that ceiling of whatever height you thought you was going to be in, always causes for things that you have to let go of. You got to let go of old stuff. You got to let go of old people. Things start falling apart. Everything feel like, it's the end of the world. And then you realize that you're just at the floor of your next evolution. Like you floor level of the next evolution. And once you hit that ceiling, you're going to have to break through again. So I feel like a lot of people who are in alignment are in this next winning season, because this year is a winning season. But just energetically, like you can see it in the people that are doing the work. You can see it in the fact that there might be a recession in the government, but there ain't no recession in the opportunities. Like opportunities there's no cease of opportunities. Energy don't die. It's only, moves around again in these cycles. So what energy are you catching? Are you catching this wave of, abundance, abundance of wealth, abundance of health, abundance of all of these things? Are you catching that wave? Or are you going to be stuck in the cycle of despair and woe is me? Because this is a new time, and there's so much opportunity out there. And I won't say for everyone, because everybody's in a different season. We all don't have the same 24 hours. I hate that saying. We do not all have the same 24 hours. But if you are in a 24-hour period that you are able to create, and you're able to pull yourself up out of it, because some people are trying and it's just not happening. This might not be your season right now, but it will happen regardless. Like I said, that energy got to come back around you, and you got to prepare yourself to catch it. So if you're in that season, prepare yourself to catch it, because it's coming.
Listen, I'm so proud of y'all. Be catching these waves of positivity and abundance. Jay, I'm so proud of you. You really doing it. Like the people that I'm connected to, like all of y'all, when I took that week off, it was like I was on social media like just a little bit, not really, just kind of like pop in and on. But the content, the stuff that I was seeing, I said, y'all are it. Like, this is the energy, the people. Like, I've never been so in sync with a collective of people, like, in my life. Genuine people that I met in that same time frame from July up until now. Like, it's impeccable to say the least, but to know that we're all on our different timelines, but we all have a similar vibration that helps one another. Like when I did my 21 days of chakra alignment, I didn't realize the impact that it had on other people. Yeah, my love, I love you.
Hi,
I love
ladies.
you.
How are y'all?
I'm so good.
Can I say this real quick? Can we come through with the lioness energy that I am feeling?
I'm here to give it to y'all. Listen, I'm gonna start dancing for y'all. I'm about to start dancing for y'all and giving y'all energy. I'm gonna give y'all life. Get it?
I'm
It's gonna be Dancing Tuesdays.
Come on, Root Chakra.
listen,
Listen,
because I'm sitting here and I'm like, do they not understand what they coming through with? Like, does anybody need to, like, can we talk about it? First, I love this live, y'all. I am here. I was here for the other one, but this one, just listening to the bounce back, I was like, ooh. I was like, I have a moment of truth that I wanted to share, and that's why I asked, like, would it be okay to like tap in?
We are here because of you, Shay. You connected us. Like, we're here because of you. Like, you literally connected us. Like, I love it.
Yeah, well, me, no, stop.
No. Live.
Listen, I wanted to say something because I keep hearing y'all mention it, and I'm like, is spirit really like it, the way that it's hitting me? I'm gonna be real raw because that's just how I have to be. It's hitting me in a aggravating way, but in love. And what it is I keep hearing y'all say, when I finally did it, when I finally tapped in, when I finally let go, when I finally removed, basically, like, yeah, I hit a level where it's like I was done. Like, the old didn't matter, it didn't make sense, it didn't resonate. So therefore, I took my scars, I acknowledged my scars, and then I said, okay, I'm ready to lick my wounds and go forth. What I have been dealing with people, and maybe I can relate, where I've kept hearing people say, I'm healing. And I've started to say, like, I'm healing. And I noticed that the people that I was attracting, and I'm still attracting, because they're healing, they're triggers. Because nobody's becoming yet. And because nobody's becoming yet, Spirit is telling me, well, until you're ready to become, you're going to keep meeting people in the healing stage, so that when you're ready to get annoyed and bothered and you're like, all right, let's elevate, let's do something new, you're only going to meet people in the I'm healing stage. Because at some point, you got to become. You ain't got to become everything immediately, but at some point, it's like, all right, I healed from this. I keep meeting narcissists, or I keep meeting people who are broke, or I keep meeting people who, like, I'm just going with the flow. And I'm like, that sounds like that healing stage. But it's like, where are the people who are like, I've done it. I've hopped this hurdle. I've seen these wars. I've dealt with this energy, and now I'm ready to become. And I had to get true because I heard A say it. And I was like, damn, that energy of just do it. For someone like me, I would say, who likes to control things, like, I want my hands in everything. I want to be able to manipulate it, maneuver it, go left, right with it. And one thing I think a lot of people, or at least for me, to just do it means really to just do it. Like, it's really not as sexy as you think it is. It's not as deep as you think it is. It's really like, you know what? Like A said, I'm gonna stop listening to people. I love y'all. Y'all cool. We vibe. But where I'm going, you're a distraction. Your healing stage is not conducive to my becoming stage. And I think what happened to me is I got too comfortable in helping people in their healing stage, that their healing stage started to make me miss my healing stage after I overcame that already. You get what I'm saying? So the things that I know I overcame and I healed from and I removed, I started to attract people who needed help and assistance. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna help you. But it was like my armor wasn't as strong as I knew it could have been. So they started to become more attractive. Like, yeah, I'll give you some more of my time and more of my energy. And yeah, we can still talk. And I'm like, Shayla, you off course, baby. You out of alignment. You out of alignment. You were supposed to help them, tell them what to do, but you holding their hand. Now your hand is bleeding. Now you in disarray. Now your nervous system is over triggered because you went back to try to help somebody who I didn't tell you to carry. I told you to whisper something, guide them somewhere, tell them something, and leave.
Or maybe they didn't tell you that at all.
Oh, yep.
Let me tell you, my life was in disarray last year because I ended up doing this. I went through another healing phase, and I felt like I was healed enough, and I had a tool that I can go and help, because I don't believe in help anymore. It's assisting. I feel like I can go back and help these people that I knew were on their journey and crossed my own boundaries.
Oh,
think about crossing our own boundaries for people who aren't even putting up their own. So you're allowing people into your space that don't belong there. And there's not enough healing in the world to put someone back into your life or put an energy back into your life that you removed. Because you're welcoming it back into your life.
I agree.
And make sure that this is not an opportunity for us to hold on to something that's familiar.
I had came. Oh, and you want to say something?
Oh, I was just gonna say, adding to that, I was in the same, like I was kind of like that. But as I learned through like meditation and like building boundaries and really exercising my throat chakra and everything, I say I am a mentor, not a savior. And a lot of people that are healing or just starting that healing journey, they look for people to save them. And I was the same way, because I was looking outside and I was like, what are the answers? What are the answers? What are the answers? And I tell people time and time again, I always say this: meditation. Because you have to be able to sit with yourself intentionally, mindfully, learn like about frequencies and vibrations. Like nobody can help you or save you like you help you and save you. And with that, that's why I come on and I talk about the chakra alignment. People like to ask me, I reference them a video or something, start from there, go. Like I have so many, you know what I'm saying, like so much. I can't tell you everything, because you know what, I'm gonna be holding your hand. And I know I'm good for that. I'll be like, I want to help you. I want to do this. I want to do that. But then you'll notice how much energy is being depleted from you. And then you're going to be kind of like in sync with their energy. And then it becomes this thing where it's like, damn, like how you were saying, like I overcame this and now I'm back at this and stuff. But even in those moments, I had to learn, like that's a learning lesson in and of itself. And knowing how to navigate moving forward. We're always in like a healing form, like once you start healing, but you have different levels to like your healing. So it's like, okay, I overcame that. I'm okay. I'm enjoying life. I'm doing what I need to do. And then you may never know, like something may trigger it up. You might have something else that comes up that you have to take care of, and then start that healing, like with the shadow work and everything. I felt like last week I was in my shadow period when I was like resting and stuff, and how I wanted to present myself back on social media in a more authentic way, where it's not like I'm feeling like forced, because I would do the A's word, but I stopped. I started doing affirmations. Say this to yourself every day, because I say these same things to myself, the affirmations that I'm posting. And I just want to do something different and challenge and help people see. And I've been getting better feedback, like from others, like, wow, I really like that, even with the colors and everything. So it's really all just a learning process. And I always say it's a journey and not a race.
I think so. In listening to what both of you were saying, there's truths, and of course, both, right? And the reality is, You can't see. My thing is, I think I don't believe necessarily that hurt people hurt people. I actually have grown to realize a lot of hurt people help people. And the only reason why I say that is because I've experienced people where I would be like, you know what, I'm good. Like, I got it, right? I've overcame this. Because I overcame this so well, come here, friend. I'm so excited to help you because I figured it out. It's like I overcame this part, this narcissist. I got you, friend. You know, and I'm one of those people where when I learn how to overcome something, I want to bring all the hurt people with me so that we could all heal together. Like, come on.
Let's kumbaya.
Right. I know y'all feeling me.
I see. I had to get over it. I thought that's what a healer was, and I agree with you that hurt people try to hurt people, but the healed part of you that helps people. When you hurt people, when you're a hurt person and you try to help someone while you're still hurting, guess what? Good intentions still wields bad results.
That's a fact.
So your intention may have been good and it may have been something that could help this person, but a lot of times, again, we overstep our boundaries. We overstep the divine timing for that person.
Yes.
They're trying to intervene in their healing journey. We overstep our own self because let me put myself behind, so I'm not paying attention to what I got to do for me, and let me and help you so that I don't have to deal with what this is over here. And if I help you, maybe that'll help me, and it's not going to work that way. And the way that it looks like for people who are in the healing space and who have been in situations where they feel unsafe and they need to create spaces for people to be safe, which is amazing, is that you usually become a martyr. And in becoming a martyr, you end up in even more pain. And that is where the ecosystem of hurting people comes from. Because now y'all all in these intentions of doing something that is not helping anybody, not yourself, not the person, not anybody that's connected to y'all. And now it looks like I'm attracting these things that are no longer good for me. But what happened was you allowed something into your space and you allowed yourself into a space that you didn't belong in.
I agree with that. That I can receive. And listening to it, because I don't want to respond. I kind of want to let that kind of sit for a second. That is 100% true. You do become a martyr. You do realize, like, damn, I'm taking a lot of scar tissue because of you. I know this ain't supposed to feel this way. I think not even. I came to this realization that I do have this savior's complex. And I found out that because people look at me as a healer, and I've been blessed to have that, I found out that a lot of people think that healers are always happy, always smiling. We don't take no scars. You know, we bite our tongue so our tongue is bleeding. It's kind of like they have this perception. And I recently came to this conclusion that because I have this, I'm Captain Save a Whole complex. I had to sit down one day, and Spirit was like, you know what, Shayla, you don't have boundaries. And I was like, what you mean? I was like, me? I got boundaries. And Spirit was like, well, what are they? And I was like, oh my gosh. I could not find them. When I tell you, I looked under my bed. I was like, make one fall. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have boundaries. And Spirit was like, why do you think you don't have boundaries? And I'm not going to get emotional. But I was like,
this is the safe space.
I'm hugging you.
Right. I'm hugging you right now.
Like every time I see you pop up, I just hug you in spirit.
I'm a vulnerable person. You know, I believe even the
I love it.
baptism
You're
of
just so raw and
tears.
real. Like, I love it.
I was like, because spirit, spirit sometimes can be very direct. And it's like, we're not going to coddle this part. And I was like, all right. And they kept asking, like, why do you think you don't have boundaries? And I'm like, because, and then I just yelled it. I was like, because boundaries cut me off. I was like, boundaries mean you don't get to validate me. You don't get to love me. You don't get to see me. You don't get into my safe space. You don't get into my heart. I was like, you don't get to tell me that I'm worthy. You don't get me. And I said, but I need that. Like, I need that validation and that love and that acceptance and that nurture. So why do I need boundaries? Fuck boundaries. Oh, we went toe to toe. I was like, fuck them. And spirit was like, now how do you feel? And I felt so empty. I felt so free, but it was like an empty free, because it was like, oh my God, like, I'm really not having boundaries, because the reality is I thought that those boundaries was blocking this idea of love and validation and acceptance from people who I didn't even know. It wasn't even real, but it was like this illusion of maybe if I keep all my doors open, if I keep my heart open, if I don't say no, if I overuse yes, if I allow you in my space, like A said, if I people please, if I do, maybe in the corner somewhere, I'll get a crumb of your love. I'll get a crumb of your validation. I'll get a little teaspoon of your acceptance, maybe just a little bit. And spirit said, now, would you want a crumb of something you don't even know versus a bowl of what you're capable of giving yourself? And I promise you, yeah, I just cried. I cried. And I had to acknowledge, like, these thoughts are old. These thoughts are of a child named Shayla who had issues with her father, who was raised by her mother, who also had her own issues, who are raised by other women in the family who may have the same. And I was like, sometimes when we heal, it's like you're not even healing for you. It's for your genealogy. You battling thoughts that are not even yours. You wondering, why do I deal with depression, and why do I seek validation, and why can't I keep a good friendship, and why am I intimidated by women who are really following their purpose? And spirit is like, these are not even your thoughts. These are not even your battles. You are breaking the thought patterns of other people in your family, but you are the one that has to go through it. So I need you to have boundaries so that only I can connect to you and with you and through you. You can hear me. And one of the things that I used to run from, y'all, was being alone. Oh my God. I was like, alone? Oh, I need everybody. I need to call my ex. I need to call his friend. I need to call my uncle and my auntie. I need to call the bum down the street. I need everybody around me, because I feared with such an intense fear and all vulnerability. I feared the reality of everything I wanted, everything that I knew I could get, actually facing me. I feared it. I was like, you are not going to tell me all I have to do is forgive my dad. You're not going to tell me it can't be that easy. You're not going to tell me that all I have to do is change my thinking pattern and I can have the life I want. You're lying. So I beat it, and I kept having more distractions, more people who I knew were not worthy of me, to get into my space so that I did not have to become the woman I knew I was capable of. So I could play victim, and I could keep saying, like, well, look, this person needs me, so I can't elevate today, spirit. Try me tomorrow. And spirit was like, okay, you're going to get tired of this. And yeah, at 30 years old, I am so fucking tired. I'm like, all right, you win. You got it. You got it.
I love it. Like, I love those realizations and surrendering. That's been honestly what has ascended. We have to ascend the bloodline. Like, we are they say, oh, the chosen ones. No, we chose to be the one.
That part.
So in choosing to be the one, you have to know what it takes to ascend the bloodline and to make a better timeline for not just you, but anyone that comes after you or the people that you touch. Planting those seeds. Surrender, because God granted me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, courage to change the things that I can, and wisdom to know the difference. I say that every morning and night, because
wanna be the
we
mama.
only can control so much of what we can control, and what we can't control controls us in an emotional way sometimes. Like when we, dang, why can't I, da, 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 and then you get into this frustration and you're like, but why, but why, but why? And it's just like, sometimes we don't need to know why. Sometimes we just need to be like, all right.
I love to know why.
Yes, of course, you want to know why, but sometimes the things like we really can't get that why for it at the moment. We get it later, like those aha moments.
Yes.
You'll be like, oh, I see. Like when I was, okay, honestly, transparent moment, dating. And I said this before. Why am I always getting cheated on? And I'm giving y'all my whole life, my all this, da 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 da. Why? 3 relationships went through this. Why? Still couldn't figure it out after the first one. The second one had a baby. Like all of this. Why? It wasn't until I stopped, eliminated everybody out of my energy, did my own, solitude work, studies and practices. I came to the conclusion why. Because I was giving something that they weren't giving me, and I was expecting it from them. You weren't giving me half of the shit that I was giving you. So that's why you got comfortable and you did what you did, because I allowed you to. And I didn't see myself in that same light because I'm looking at you. Okay, here, I gave it to you. So what do you have for me? You don't have shit for me because you taking everything I'm giving you. Yeah. You don't have shit for me because you taking everything I'm giving you. Instead of us having this and this for ourselves to give to each other. And that's where that self-accountability came in. After 3 years, I figured out why. After 3 years. And when I stopped claiming being a victim and started to walk into my victor energy.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
And it's just that simple concept has, I think, ascended my own personal timelines to a greater, because even my mom, she was like, when I do like meditation and everything, she was like, wow, like you really caught on. She's like 40 something, I'm 20 something. Wow, you really caught on at a young age, and with each generation it should get better, right?
That's the goal.
Mm-hmm. And I have the willpower, I have the strength, I have that mindset, and I'm not going to stop no matter how bad something may seem. Being in that psych work did not stop me. It actually ascended me. Being in those broken relationships, having a baby did not stop me. It ascended me. And to see my child, how she acts and she develops, is everything to me. For a little 3-year-old, know how to garden, know how to write her own name, know how to say her affirmations. Every day she's telling me what she's grateful for. I don't even have to ask her anymore. I'm grateful for this, that, praying. I go to pray. She's right there next to me praying. I didn't tell her. Little kids, how they be distracted. No, she be full on meditations. I be in my class and she be stones. She really knows. And it's just like, wow, like what I'm doing is reflecting out from like in the generations to come, and with the youth meditations and everything. So surrendering, it helps. Like that's why I be so zen. Everything ain't perfect, but I have the power to my own peace and happiness, regardless of what the hell else is going on around me. And I learned how to listen, like to spirit. Like I learned how to listen. Learning how to listen helps us to get to where we want a bit faster. Like I just love that.
It's so good. Yes, and that reminds me of on Monday, my sister Dila, she's in here with a few other my sisters. They have a live that they do on Mondays, called Harambe Monday, and they do one on Friday as well. But I was talking to them, and I was saying how a lot of times we are having cognitive dissonance with our spiritual team because we love to blame God and the devil for things that they ain't had no hand in.
Preach.
we have
will of ours did. That free will of ours did.
and most of the things that happen in life is literally because our free will. And if it's not our free will, it's somebody else's free will. And then if you want to get real deep, technically it was still our free will because we put ourselves in this dimension to meet up with that person and they free will and they did in our life,
giving that,
which is
that power away.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it doesn't even have to be giving our power away because, like, you know, things happen as a kid that we didn't ask for this. It didn't happen. Our parent probably put us in that dimension to make this. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all interacting, and our free will is literally interacting with each other. But the thing that happens with us is once we get of age where we can make our own decisions, we stop including God in our decision when we in a good place. We be real quick, God, this ain't going right. I need you. Where you at? Or why would you do this? Or why is this coming up? But you know what I'm saying? Like, when is that good decision? Are you still talking to him? Are you still asking, is this the right situation for me? Is this the right? Am I supposed to go this way? Does this path align with my higher self? You know, all of these questions that I used to trip the preacher up because we didn't really go to church, but when we did, I had questions.
Exactly.
Okay, why can't I question God? How am I supposed to get an answer and I can't question? What do you mean? What are you telling me? So I question.
That's my awakening.
How?
How I ask? How am I gonna know? I gotta listen to you, but you fucking up too. So, like, how am I gonna know?
Get this done because a lot of times, once we get into that pathway of I need to make a decision and this decision will alter the next few moves that I have to make, we have to be very clear on what the answer is, which also goes back to meditation and stillness and stuff like that. But like, we have to understand our relationship with ourselves and our relationship to spirit, because God and the devil be looking at y'all like y'all crazy. I just want y'all to know, the devil is busy.
Y'all blaming me. You called me. They looking at us like, y'all blaming me, but you called me. You just went over there and did that, and you wonder why this happened. No, you called my energy over here. You knew what was over here. You knew they was a spawn of Satan, but you still wanted to go over there and go swim. Like, of course you're gonna drown. Like, what you mean?
But we need to seriously like look at ourselves and be intentional if you're gonna move on to the next phase of your evolution. If you want to do that healing journey, if you're ready to go in these full circle moments, you got to be intentional and be willing and open to listening to what that means for you, because otherwise you get yourself into these situations where you meet up with that exact thing that you were supposed to avoid.
That is such a word. That is so true. Like, that is mic drop. That's so true. And you said it with attitude.
It all came full circle. I am so grateful for you all. Like,
this is a full circle moment.
This is literally, like, I love how we align, and I look forward to more of these conversations. Shay, I want to see you up here more too. Like, we align together. Because you a part of this circle, okay? She's the ringleader, okay? She made like, yeah, I want to see you. Because you be saying, like, Shay, I really love your videos. Like, when you be popping on, I be like, oh, Shay got a word. Come on, Shay. What you guys say? I'm here for it. I Shay, because
you know why? You know what it is? Me, I laugh through my pain. I'm a laugh. You would think I'm a bipolar healer. The way I laugh and cry, I will cry. I want to. So sometimes it's like, if it's in me to get it out, I'll get it out. But before it leaves, I just want to piggyback off what Precious said, because she said something that hit my heart. Your relationship with you. Y'all, can I just get like 2 minutes? Just 2 minutes. Just 2. I was attracting men that kept moving Like everything I was asking for was just too much. Too damn much. Hold my hand. I don't want to. Bitch. Like too much. Everything. It was like they kept giving this energy of like, Shayla, you're not worthy of this. Like you're undeserving of the things that you asked for. So I'm like, okay, I went into pick me mode, right? I was like, okay, well, maybe if I work out more and maybe if I, if I start bashing, ooh, Spirit, you gonna get true like this? Damn. Maybe if I start bashing other women to put me on a pedestal, maybe if I sleep with them sooner, maybe we could get some. And Spirit was just letting me, free will, Spirit was just letting me go, like, okay, you want to run this. But don't catch AIDS and you're not gonna get pregnant. But go have fun. And now I started to realize, like, okay, Spirit, I came back and I was like, Spirit, I'm noticing something now. There's a spirit of disregard. And Spirit was like, well, why do you think that is? And I'm like, well, I'm attracting these guys and they were handsome, y'all. Nice body. They were blessed and anointed, highly favored down there, if you get what I'm saying. And I'm like, why is it not working? I don't understand. And when I really sat down and I stopped blaming everybody, it was like, Shayla, they're giving you what you believe about yourself. They're all your reflections of your truth, not what you're presenting, but your truth. And your truth is beyond you working out, beyond you being plant-based and as fine as you want to be, you have a spirit of you don't believe you deserve good. And it wasn't even you who gave it to you. It was something that was planted in you. And each time something happened, it kept getting watered and watered and got bigger and bigger to the point where you started to put a mask, a facade on that whatever I asked for would be unattainable. It didn't matter what it was. It got so deep, y'all, that I was afraid to go food shopping. For some reason, I thought somebody was going to do it for me. And I was like, this spirit of disregard and undeserving is fucking up my life. Because it was like, I can't keep good relationship with women. I couldn't keep a good relationship with a man. And I didn't have a sustainable relationship with me. So now I'm walking around with no boundaries, daddy issues, and I have a spirit of disregard. Well, it doesn't, no wonder I'm meeting narcissists. No wonder I'm meeting men who just lead with their dick and not their spirit. Obviously, and I promise y'all, like you just said, the relationship with self is literally the cure to all things. Before you consult your homegirl, because somebody asked me, like, Shayla, you ever thought of therapy? I was like, yeah. I go to therapy every day. They was like, oh, where you go? To my damn bedroom. Because at the end of the day, and some people don't like it, but the truth is, if you really I'm talking about dangerously honest with yourself. I'm talking about like you strip it clean, like, baby, you needy. You got some issues. If you get so vulnerable in your own safe space, you can really heal the deepest part of you where you can't hide. Like, I had to honestly hold myself accountable and be like, I am in my own way. How am I in my own way? And not everybody, because I had to ask myself, like, therapists is going to ask me, Shayla, why do you think this? So why can't I ask me, why do I think it? Why can't I get so raw and so just gritty with it and be like, yo, Shayla, what's really up? Like, what's up? Because sometimes, and let's be real, sometimes you got to go into war mode for your saving, for yourself. Like, sometimes, like I tell people all the time, when you hear those dark voices, you don't tap dance with them. You're not like, girl, get out of here. I be squaring up in my bedroom when I hear those thoughts of, you should just go commit suicide. You should just tap out. You ain't never gonna make it. You're gonna be in this.
I feel you, girl. Let it out.
Yes, let it out, my love.
I'm thinking to make.
I'm like hugging you so much right now. I don't know if you can feel me, but I'm like on your chin. I'm like,
I think that people make healing look so sexy. You sit down, you hum a little bit, and that's it. And the real warriors are the ones who battle in silence. The real warriors are the ones who do a war cry. The real warriors are the ones who they cry for the earth,
Yeah.
not even for themselves. The real warriors are the ones who don't wipe my tears. I need y'all to see this. You get what I'm saying? Like the real warriors are the ones who smile in your face every day. But when they close that door, the thumping that you hear is intense. Like it's not this sexy Erykah Badu look. It doesn't work that way. It's some real gritty, like toe to toe with these demons, toe to toe with your shadow. Like you calling your shit out. Like I am not the mistake that you said I was. I am not the fuck up that you think you are. And these thoughts are not real. And you gotta call them out. Like you gotta look at them and you gotta be like,
Look,
I see you. And what's even dangerous is we live in a world where these tears are looked at as weaknesses.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because it's like this is my strength. Like this is my power. This creates space to go into war more frequently because I'm not holding it.
Exactly.
And it's like
And you feel good after you do it.
It's
Like
I
that
look at
release.
I be these women, and it's no shade, but it is a judgment. Fuck it, it's a judgment. Cause I be seeing these women want to touch everybody, put their hands on, and you ain't got no fucking power. You can't cast out nothing. You don't go to toe with nothing. A person who's battling dark thoughts can't come to you. Cause what you gonna do? Like, what are you? I remember, I don't want to go there, but fuck it. I remember I wanted to be in this sexy looking spiritual world. I bought me some tarot cards and Spirit was like, ain't nobody told you to do that. Your gift don't come from them damn cards. And I was like, but everybody's doing it. They look so sexy. But that wasn't for me. That wasn't mine. So every time I would hear the channeling, I would be like, but I don't have the cards. So when I got the cards, the channeling would stop. And I'm like, I'm disrespecting what I'm good at. And I love to see women do it, men do it. If that's their gift, that's their gift. But I had to realize not every worker works the same. You know what I mean? Not every gift is for everybody. And I had to get real and be like, I'm the one who's going to cry with you. And then I'm gonna wake you up, like, get it together now. Like, we got to go. You can't stay down too long. We're going to cry for 5 fucking minutes. And then we got to go. And what's dangerous is, like, I tell they don't talk about that part. Like when you gotta pull it out. Like you gotta pull it out because that thing is on you from generations, from your placenta, from the umbilical cord. It's like that thing is in you, and you gotta be like, all right, I see you, depression. I see you. You in a corner. You know, or I see you, this lustful spirit. I see you, and you've been on me for a minute. I know where you came from, and it's just. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Like, thank you. Like, now you make me want to write a book. Because I'll be real with you. I want to write a book now because
do it.
Because it's like I know those exact moments you're talking about because I have my days when I feel those things and those thoughts, and I be sitting there. I'd be like, okay, I'm feeling like this. Okay, I felt like this before. I had together. So what are we gonna do? I sit there and talk to God, talk to my ancestors, talk to my higher self. What are we gonna do? Because I'm an alchemist. I know how to transmute that energy to something else. So yeah, that energy is gonna continue to come in different shapes, forms, and people and all that stuff. But the real test is, how do you ascend that? Like, how do you deal with that? And when you were talking about the war cries, oh my gosh, girl, I love to. Okay, listen, that's my thing now. Like, when I really be feeling like, no, like I be going crazy, but I be feeling so great. Like, it makes me feel like, but we need it. Like, we need to do those things because that's where that energy is built up, and people keep it so much in their mind because their egos and stuff. No, move, shake yourself, shake your body, scream your vocals, do something, make clap. I be clapping every day. I be like, yes,
Yep.
like That's a vibration. That is an energy. The stagnant energies that be creeping in, and go clean up something. Go fix the bookshelf. Go do something. Clean. Do like keep that energy flowing, because then that energy builds up. It creeps up on you, and then you like, no, we're not doing that. So thank you for sharing that, my love. Definitely appreciate it. And yeah, I'm gonna update you on this book that I'm gonna do, because I gotta talk about it. Like, how do we deal? But we do it, and we get through it.
Exactly. And shit, that's why I made my business. That's what A Pocket of Sunshine is all about. Literally, how do you get through that? Because we have so much that is put on us, and then there's like no outlet. It looks real cute. The baths look real cute. You know what I'm saying? The teas look real cute. You know what I'm saying? But when you get down and you really doing the healing work, that shit ugly and it hurts. So how do you balance that out? How do you balance out when you at a low point? Because you got to get to the middle at least. You know what I'm saying? If you can't vibrate high, you got to get to the middle at least. And being able to get yourself to that point and combat those thoughts when they do come, and checking them as soon as they do come at the door. You cannot pass go. Do not collect $100, $200. You know what I'm saying? What? No. I'm successful. I don't know about you. Talk to that motherfucker like it's a whole nother person. I don't
You
know
have to. You have to.
I don't know about you, but I'm successful. I don't know what you're talking about. No, not today.
I remember when
you're outside of yourself and you like feeling some feelings that's not yours, or we're not doing that today. We're not doing that today.
Not today, Satan.
Today, you know, let me go put on some high vibrational music. Let me go eat me some fruit. Let me go get my
Give me
herbs.
some light. Like, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because once you know and understand that you are not your thoughts, you also understand that you can combat everything that is coming towards you. And I'm being, even with a hormone imbalance, when I tell you that I broke generational curses, my family, the women, can you wait 1 second? Okay? The women in my family suffer from a hormonal imbalance. If it wasn't for me, we wouldn't have even known that. I just so happened to be talking to a girl that explained it to me. Now I understand why I'm acting crazy before our periods. It makes sense now, but then it go even deeper. So I asked my spiritual advisor, because, girl, this comes with depression, it comes with suicidal ideations, it comes with all of these things. And I could be at the highest peak of my life and wake up the next day and feel lower than low. And it's not me. I know it's not me, but how do we get out of that? And come to find out, this is the thing on the women's side where we giving up energy to men. Now I gotta watch how I'm presenting my energy in that flow. If I hadn't figured that out, we wouldn't know that. And how do you explain that to your child? Because with the women, we just gonna argue, you know, it's gonna be up. We don't fight like that, but you know what I'm saying? I don't want to talk to you. You get on my nerves. Like, you got an attitude problem. You know what I'm saying? It's all of these fighting and arguing and stuff. But once I know now, it's like, okay, my energy's off. Let me go check that calendar. My period about to come. My period's about to come. Conversation before I even get that far. You know what I'm saying? So it helped the communication and being able to know yourself and know who you are and what you're going through. And let me check, did I have a conversation with somebody that, you know, brought my energy down, or were they off? Am I off? You know what I'm saying? So being able to have that self-reflection and knowing, is this me right now? Is this really me? Or I just really did something really good. Why am I having these thoughts? Oh, when I was in elementary school, they told me, I ain't in elementary school no more, though.
Exactly.
All right? Like, we good over here. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. Being able to I have a tea party.
I
Being
see it's happening. It's happening.
regardless,
Hey, baby cake.
How are you?
it's my warrior woman.
Love
But
it.
here you go. Can you put that over there in the dollhouse? Yeah, but being able to understand and know and where you're at is a big help.
I had to realize
Chat is moving. I didn't even see all of this.
I feel like, or at least some of us, and I think that's one of my problems with self-help books, is a lot of people you get more attention, more love, more resources when you're saying I'm healing, you know, like I'm broken. Everybody kind of comes to your aid. And I think the reason why so many people are afraid to actually become who they are to become is because there's no book that says, okay, you made it, now what? You know, like, okay, now you're here, so now we're going to hold your hand in a different way. It's kind of like there's no more retreats. There's nothing else when you've actually become. So a lot of people who actually have overcome so much kind of keep going backwards because in that, well, when I was dealing with him and when I was battling this and battling that, I had all this assistance. There were so many books I could read. But have you ever been in Barnes and Nobles and found a book that said, you're here? Like, you're here. Like, that's it. You did it. That's it. I had to realize the goal is to have maintenance. When you've overcome something, when you've broken something, when you've healed or restored something, the goal isn't to go back. Now it's, okay, if those thoughts come back, you can maintain. You have the skills. You know what to do. Now you have to keep implementing them. Because let's be real, everybody, whether you're an empath, a clairvoyant, where you're a healer, whatever, we're all going to have those days where it's like, I don't feel like this shit right now. Don't talk to me. If I'm walking down the street, don't ask me to smile. What did you do for me to smile? I'm in my own inner. Yeah, I tell you, that's one thing I cannot stand. When they're like, oh, why don't you smile? Do you know what I went through to get this smile?
The sun is out. My eyes are hurting right now. That's why I'm not smiling.
Leave me be. Like, let me live.
Even though I be smiling in the sun.
My smile
but right now,
to you. It don't belong to you. And it's like, people, you know, it's so, the goal, or at least in my mind, is how do I maintain my healing? How do I, because it's not every day that I deal with certain things. I'm not always in war mode. Right now, I am. That's why I'm crying a lot. I know what's happening. But it's not an all-day thing because nobody want to wake up every day ready to fight. Like, that's draining. It's too much. Every time you go to sleep, you got to put your armor on. That shit is heavy. You only should be in war mode when it's necessary. And if you living your life every damn day and you in war mode, baby, you need to readjust. There's a conversation that needs to, we're in survival mode. And guess what that means? Now you're overstimulating your nervous system. So you're opening yourself up to too many energies. And to me, I had to realize as a warrior, the best thing for me to do is realize who triggers me to go into war mode more frequently than I would like. And because, let me say this. Some of us have gotten so comfortable in chaos that the sound of silence is scary as fuck. It's like, so I'm going to just stay in these chaotic situations. I'm going to keep attracting these chaotic people because the idea of actually having peace seems so unattainable and so beyond my reach that I'm going to dance with this chaos. I'm going to dance with this noise. And I had to realize, Shayla, you are a straight shooter. You come in, you get to the point, and you leave. And that's how you maintain your energy. Now, if it's time to do something, then you do it. But the reality is, stop being around everybody that needs your damn help. Can you call somebody and be like, can you get a war cry for me? If you can't, then you need to readdress your friends. Like, something ain't right. You ain't going, it gets to a point where I feel like when people realize you have something or a gift of whatever, they will call on you more frequently than you like. I just want to talk to you. I just need to vent. Why do you think I care? Like, why do you think I want to hear about it? And as somebody who feels everything, I'll feel bad for saying, like, I don't want to hear it. But y'all, something happened at 30. 30 cents to me, fuck them.
Working smarter, not harder.
Listen, okay? And it's not always with your business. It's with your friends. It's with people that's close to you. Like, you're draining. Even if I'm doing nothing, if I'm on my couch butt ass naked, I'm busy. Do not call me. I'm busy.
Listen, you
But
can't call me without an appointment. If we didn't have anything scheduled, don't call me.
and I think more people should do that. Put a price on your damn time. How many people you think is gonna call you? It is $60, 15 minutes. They're gonna make sure, yo, I ain't got nothing that important. I'll wait.
I just see a text message or email. A voice note, maybe.
I'm gonna put a price on my time because nobody's gonna respect it until I do. You know what I mean? And being somebody who want to help the damn masses, the masses will have your ass drained.
And
then
in the ground.
You'll be so damn drained, they'll still be like, wait, there's an ounce in the corner. Get that too.
Hey, can I ask you for this? Hey. First thing, when people be asking me questions, you can book a meditation consultation with me and we could talk. But I'm going to tell you this. It starts with meditation. Go on YouTube. Start doing the guided. You can go through my content because it's all there. It's literally all there. All you got to do is look. I can't do the work for you because nobody did it for me. I give you so much free information. I'm telling you what the blockages are. I'm telling you what you can do to help the blockages. I'm doing the work with you. You see me writing? I'm literally sitting there writing. When I'm doing those time lapse, I'm writing the full thing. I'm sitting there for 15 minutes, even though it looked like 30 seconds. I'm there for 15 minutes. Writing. I'm talking. I'm actually exercising. I'm playing the sound bowls for you.
Don't come over here. I can't stand that. Because at some point, and I tell people, don't come over here if you ain't fit. Because I'm not the girl who you think is gonna be like woo woo woo. I'm gonna be like, okay, so what are we not focused on right now? What's really up? Because I'm telling you, this whole spiritual thing, this sexy spirituality thing, has got it so twisted in people's mind that they think people are really gonna hold their hand the whole way. And it's like, baby, it don't work that way. I'm gonna call your shit out. We gonna talk. I'm not gonna use profanity, but I am gonna let you know, like, you lying. And a lot of people don't want that type of healing, but that's the radical healing that really bursts you forth, because it's a reminder like, oh shit, like I really am responsible for this. I'm really the one. So nowadays, hell yeah, I'm gonna start doing it, because I know for a fact the people who call me who be like, Shayla, I just want to talk, you can book it. I'm gonna start booking my aunts and my uncles. Book it.
You know, for real, catch me in person and we talking. You just got blessed.
Right. Yeah.
But, you know, you catch me at the meditation circle. We could talk about that. You can talk about some things at the meditation circle. So, what's up?
Establish your boundaries. Being able to
boundaries.
Like my family know, like, they ask before they start to talk or anything, oh, are you in that space? No, I'm not. I don't want to talk about that right now. Oh, I don't like that. I don't talk about that person right now. You know, being able to establish your boundaries and what kind of conversations are you willing to have? Because most people, especially family, they know you before. So they know you from when you didn't have those boundaries. They know you from when you didn't understand yourself. And they're still operating from space. Because it's kind of like, I know everybody's talking about quantum leaps now, but they say sometimes when you quantum leap, you leave people behind. And in a sense, once you start healing, you're leaving those people behind because they can't come with you on your personal healing journey. So now these people got to catch up to who you are. So you got to tell them who you are. There's no such thing as, oh, if you don't know, then no. You have to tell people who you are and how to address you. I am precious. You talk to me when and how that I allow you to. There is no other. You know what I'm saying? I make room for people, but there is no space for you to intrude on my boundaries, because my boundaries are firm. If I didn't have boundaries, I wouldn't be here. And I learned that the hard way. That's why I ended up in prison. If I didn't have boundaries, I would not be here, because now you are infringing safe space.
Yeah, and some people can't even talk to me. Some people don't even know how to talk to me no more. Somebody told me that, they'd be like, wow, you're just so, I'm like, I'm just myself. Don't project that on me. I'm just myself.
But you might not be.
Look,
you might not be. You a different person in that dimension. Like,
No, but I'm saying that in a way, like like how you see me now is genuinely my authentic self. Like there's no pressure,
But
there's no I'm not projecting anything on you. You probably can't hold a conversation because you're still in that low vibrational state and that state of mind where you think it's just going to be this bullshit talking. I don't have time to talk about bullshit. I don't have time to be doing nothing because that does lower my vibration. Then I have to go home and take that energy with me, and then I'm thinking about it, and then it's just why? No, we're not doing it. So if you greet me, if you know how to greet me, people who don't know how to greet me, when I say greet me, if you don't say good morning, good afternoon, something like that, you just jump straight into what you need, I'm not responding to you. Hello, I greet everybody I talk to. I say Grand Rising. I say good afternoon. I say how are you doing? All of that. You're not just gonna send me a picture or text and be like da 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 da. Family included. Nobody gets a pass. So if you haven't heard from me or anything, and you need to look at how you come at me.
I love that.
period.
Say impressions.
But I did want to say before we go off, thank you everybody because people y'all stayed on. We dropped a lot of gems. I just want to say thank you all so much for sharing this time and space with us, and those who catch the replay. Really appreciate it. This is healing. Like I feel so full. Tomorrow I work on my throat chakra. I feel like I have a mouthful to say. Thank you, Shay, because you just triggered a lot of stuff. You triggered a lot. Okay, listen, it's all came full circle, and I'm just entirely grateful. Like y'all the best.
I thank you for letting me come. I appreciate it. I'm not gonna lie. Can I tell you a secret? I thought Precious was gonna be like, hell no, you can't come up.
I was gonna do it the last time.
I was getting, yeah, I promise you. See, but that's a thing for me. It's kind of like that. I'm telling you, I appreciate y'all letting me come because I promise you, I was like, if Precious said, that's why I say, let me just squeeze up. I got a question.
Yeah.
Are y'all open to just receiving this love that I'm about to pour up here? But I love it. This is
anytime.
It was needed, and I think if I could take anything from this conversation, the importance of boundaries, not to really rethink how boundaries look, and don't look at it as closing a door for people to love you and validate you. I would say protecting the love that you have for you in such a nurturing way, where only right people, gifted spiritual people who can care for you, can open that door because you allow them, and then they take care of what's behind the door. So I one thing that I took is just the importance of boundaries. And there's this book, I don't know if y'all heard of it, the seven highly effective habits.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, I was like, I need to write my personal mission statement because, like, when you really realize that you don't have a foundation that you really are proud of, it's like, okay, I need to go back into that. Because I was like, this no boundaries is making me too susceptible to too many energies that I'm in war mode every other day, damn it. My edges need to grow. I need a second. So,
Look, I'm here for it.
Yes.
I'm so thankful for you ladies tonight. Was everything that I thought it was going to be. Definitely a full circle moment. Definitely healing. I am grateful for you all sharing your stories, for everybody that came on to share space with us. Go ahead. And any closing remarks before we leave off, ladies, and also tell the people where they can find you.
Yes. So for me, and Shay, you just said the mission statement. My mission statement, I say it to myself as frequent as often. My name on here is Experience Avis. Avis is a list of individuals or alchemists of the highest order of divinity, excellence, and admirable eminence. We don't make excuses, we make it happen. That is what it is. To apply that to whatever you have in your life, just make it happen.
Oh, I love that. So yeah, my name is Shayla. Hey. So my Instagram is Sips with Shay. And I basically just do cute little reels where I kind of hit it direct to the point. I'm like direct. I do have a business called Shayla Solutions. That's my other Instagram where if you did
Some
want
more, okay? I'm at the last of my.
boo, I got you. Where I make plant-based and skincare, herbal teas, things of that nature, and you can book a consultation with me because my time ain't free, and that is that is
I love it.
Shayla's Solutions, and that's pretty much it.
Yes, and I am Precious. I'm the owner of A Pocket of Sunshine, where we do everything wellness. I am a life and wellness coach. I'm also a mentor. I also have people who are incarcerated. I also, you have to pay for my time as well. So hit the link in the bio. I do have a performance coming up at the end of the month where I'll be telling my story again. So please check that out. Yeah, and have a wonderful, blessed night.
Yes,
everyone. And I pray that this live did something for somebody and that we can continue to heal together because you know I'm all about community. I can't do it without you. Don't want to do it without you. So come with us.
Hey, I'm like, okay. I want to come. Can I come here?
We're here.
I love that.
All right,
I
y'all.
love that.
Good night.
Good night, everyone. I love you all. We'll see you next Wednesday.